Good morning. We've finally got good weather here in the UK this weekend, so I've been back out in the garage trying to finish up the painting of my walls. I tried to make a little video series of me washing the walls and then putting the first coat of paint on and then the second coat of paint on, but after trying to edit a video of me washing a wall and trying to make it interesting, I completely gave up on that idea. So what's going to follow now is a little montage of me washing the walls, applying the first coat of paint and then the second coat of paint. Alright, so I've got my bucket of water, I've got 2 brooms, a hard and a soft. Let's get scrubbing.
It's a good idea to start at the top so that you can brush away all the water streaks.
It's going to take hours. I think you get the idea. Right, so it's been probably about an hour and 4 buckets of water, and I've now finished the breeze block wall. Got my wrist strap on because that was starting to hurt from all the scrubbing. Then I'm going to do this concrete wall, and hopefully this concrete wall, this brick wall, and then hopefully the other brick wall by tonight. It's not that late, only 5:30. I tried to make a pathetic love heart, but it came out looking like a terrible peace sign. The bricks are a lot less porous than the breeze block. I don't have to keep topping it with water so often. Two walls out of 3 done. Not bad, not bad. But I have just noticed when I brought the brushes, the bristles were this long. And now, 2/3 through the job, the bristles are this long. So I've gone from this to this. I just hope I've got enough bristles to finish the job. Okay, well it's day 2, Sunday. All seems to have dried reasonably well overnight despite being quite cold. I am going to leave it a week though before I think about painting it. The breeze block feels pretty good. There's no sand coming off that when I brush it, but if I rub the brick wall, I can still feel some sand on it. So I think I'm just going to go over and give it all a quick whip with the soft brush to try and get this surface sand off, and I think that's about as best as I can do. In the process of washing the walls though, I've completely worn my brush down to the nub. Like the bristles started this long and now they're that long. So right near the end it was pretty touch and go because this soft brush is useless.
So all I'm going to be using is some white masonry paint, an extendable paint roller with some dead looking eyes apparently, a wide brush for the corners, and a paint roller tray. Always make sure you give it a good mix. It was at this point, given how hard it was to roll and the horrible scraping sound, I started to feel something was wrong. Shouldn't be this hard, should it? In slight disbelief, I realised I had mounted the roller in the wrong position. So I had the fun job of moving the roller to the right place while it was loaded with paint.
That was a good start, wasn't it? So yeah, don't do what I did. Make sure you get the actual screw of the right position, otherwise you ain't going to be able to roll and roll. And you look like a right idiot.
With that sorted, it was much easier. I tried to push the roller into as many crevices as possible. Then I went around and touched up all the parts the roller missed.
I'm going to go freehand at the end here. So it dried pretty well overnight, and over the next few days it's dried even better. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Paint right into the corners and up a bit. It definitely needs one more coat, like some of these areas down here is a little patchy, I think. Might be just because it's better dried because that's where it was next to the radiator.
Yeah, I also went around at the end and just painted a few centimeters onto the floor. I thought that might give it a bit of better damp protection, we'll see. That's dried everywhere except in this corner, which is like the most dampy corner around the back of the garage, but I think it's doing quite well at the moment. If you're going to be using your brushes or roller again, just wrap them in an airtight bag to save on cleaning them each time.
Seems right.
Yeah, you get the idea. Let's fast forward to where I finished the third coat. And here we are, another weekend. Everything is beautifully dry now, which I'm really surprised by. Even the damp corner over there and over here has dried nicely. On my third coat, I managed to fill in quite a lot of the spaces which were left before, and I really tried to drench these breeze blocks to try and fill in as much of the gap as possible. There are still a few areas on this back wall, such as there, like around here, as well as this section of breeze block, and in this corner with gaps, which does annoy me. After this paint sets, it does have a weird tendency to go yellow in some of the corners. I'm not sure if that's just the light or if that's because it's a little bit damp while it dried. Not really sure why that is, but it is only lower down. Like the bits higher up are perfectly white, and lower down here is a little yellow. And yeah, the camera is making it out, so I'm not crazy. So what I think I'm gonna do this morning is use the tiny amount of paint that I've got left and try and fill in these last few spots which are annoying me, as well as get up on the ladder and paint that last little bit of wood there. I use the brush to get right into all the corners and pointing. Annoyingly, these areas probably took 5 times longer than it does to roll the paint everywhere else. But it's really important to do, as this is what's going to give us a great looking finish. It's easy to fill them in with a roller. These ones do have a lot bigger holes than the one at the other side of the garage. These plastic gloves have been really handy. I bought them probably about 2 years ago to help me mix dough when I was trying to make pizza dough. I didn't like my hands getting dirty. Get in there. Sorry that the autofocus is going crazy here. I've learnt that for next time now. She's all out, painting's over. About time. I've managed to fill in most of the big holes on this back wall, which is one of the main ones I wanted to do. I've also managed to fill in quite a lot of the holes in this wall here, as that is a outward facing wall which might get some damp. Some areas are not perfectly filled in, but I think it was definitely worth going around once over with my remaining paint. Tried to fill in some of these breeze block bits as well, as best I could, because there is quite a lot of gaps in these bricks. If I was to do one more everywhere, it might come out a little bit better, and I would fill in quite a few of the holes, but to be honest, I can't really be bothered to go around it again. spend a whole nother weekend doing it, so this is going to be absolutely perfect for me. Now that I've finished painting, I'll finally be able to tack up the wires for my lights better and get the control box in the corner rather than having to keep going up on my ladder into the rafters to turn the lights on and off. And if you give this a go for yourself, I hope it turns out great. And now for this weekend's main job, laying these PVC flooring tiles.